Hi there, and welcome to the WP Builds News. Once again, our weekly rundown of the WordPress news. This is number 31, and it covers the week commencing the 17th of September 2018, and it was published on Monday, the 24th of September. Just a few quick things. If you go over to WPBuilds.com and use the menu items at the top, you'll notice one of them is called subscribe. And on there you can click on buttons to join our Facebook group, join our Slack channel, get messenger updates. We post all of this stuff on YouTube. So if you consume a lot of stuff through YouTube, all of these things go to YouTube, as do our webinars and so on and so forth. Speaking of webinars, another menu item on the top of the website, we've got a few webinars coming up. We have got Adam Hempenstall from Better Proposals. He's on the 27th of September describing how you can win more clients with decent proposals and dissecting ones to make sure they are good. Tom Carlos, who is the developer of Beaver Team Pro, will be telling us on the 11th of October how we can speed up our workflow with his Beaver Team Pro plugin. And also on Thursday, the 27th of September, along with Adam Hempenstall, we've got James Rose, who's going to be telling us how to get content from our clients effectively. Go over to wpbuilds.com/deals and you can get 25% off Erin Flynn courses, 20% off Beaver Team Pro, 25% off any main WP license, 20% off Blog Vault and Mailcare, and 20% off Toolset as well. We've got a giveaway on at the moment, and just a little tip, this one hasn't received quite as many entries as we usually have, so you've got a far greater chance of winning it if you go there now. It's from WP Compress, and it's a chance to win 5 lots of 10,000 image compression credits, so that might be something worth looking into. Okay, thank you. Anyway, you're not here for all that, are you? You're here for the news, so let's get on with it. The first item I've got today is on the WP Tavern website, and it's entitled Gutenberg Cloud, a cross-platform community library for custom Gutenberg blocks. Now, I mentioned on the news a few weeks ago that some Drupal developers had taken Gutenberg. Because Gutenberg does not rely on WordPress, I nearly said Facebook, doesn't rely on WordPress, it can be decoupled from it, they ported it over as a Drupal module and got it going. Now, apparently it went down really well, and so this whole initiative has gone a little bit further, and we've now got this thing called Gutenberg Cloud, and the idea is it's going to be a community library divorced from Drupal, divorced from WordPress, of Gutenberg blocks. And if you're a developer, you'll be able to contribute your blocks for whatever it is that you've got blocks for. It could be shopping or images or who knows. And people will be able to go to this central repository and find out about them and download them and use them on either Drupal or WordPress. I think this is so fabulous. Now, Drupal doesn't really have a structure like WordPress does of premium this and that. Everything in Drupal is free. So at the moment, it's undecided how that's going to work, whether there'll be premium blocks in there. But I don't think anybody's opposed to it. It's just got to be ironed out. But I just think that's lovely. What a great initiative. What the things that we can do when we work together. The next article is from the SiteGround website, SiteGround being an affordable web host. Lots and lots of WordPress websites on there. Up until recently, if you went there and got yourself a WordPress website hosting package, they would do a minimal install and a couple of other minor little tweaks. Now they've gone a whole step further, and they've got this wizard going on so that they can encourage more people who don't really have any expertise with WordPress to get up and running and get something working and fully functional. They're going to offer you a range of themes created uniquely for them by Ocean WP. I think there's a dozen or so, and some of them look really, really nice. Then from there, you're going to be able to install the Elementor free page builder, the one on the WordPress.org repo, which is very fully functional. You'll be able to do an awful lot with that. And they're also offering WPForms, Foo Gallery, Yoast SEO, Monster Insights, the Events Calendar, Opt-in Monster, WP Google Maps, Jetpack, and WooCommerce. On top of all that, they've changed the WordPress admin a little bit so that the dashboard now has their custom widgets in there. So, for example, it says things like manage page change design, and install WooCommerce, install WP Forms, and so on. I'm guessing, I presume, that all of these are the free versions that you can get on the wp.org web repo. I don't know if they've struck any deals, but anyway, there we go. Interesting stuff. So the next one, speaking of WPForms has actually gone out and bought another Forms plugin, which is highly bizarre, but there's reason behind the madness. A long-standing Forms plugin called Pirate Forms, which has apparently 300,000 active users, or it says there's currently 300,000 people using it on the WordPress.org repo. They have a very, very basic plugin, which essentially is a set it and forget it. Just does a contact form, and that's about it. Well, WPForms is much more complicated. It's one of the the really advanced form building plugins out there. And so what they've done is they've decided to take this plugin over, which was going to be falling into disrepair and disuse. And what they're saying to all of the people who've got this is, look, here it is. It's gonna fall to pieces in a certain amount of time. So why not get yourself onto WPForms? And they're going to offer a migration path to do that. WPForms has got over 1 million users. They're also going to offer the option to install other form building solutions, but they won't offer the migration. So essentially, it feels like this is a way to acquire quite a lot of customers potentially for a very small price. Although I don't know what they paid for it. The next one is from the WooCommerce website, and it's to say that Woo 3.5.0 beta is here. I won't go too much into all of it, but there's changes. It's a minor release, the last one before I think they go to the next major release. And there's a whole series of improvements, some of them really rather technical, but the too long didn't read goes a bit like this. Improved copy for transactional emails, custom product table support, the ability to export products by category in the CSV exporter, the ability to set a low stock threshold for individual products, an improved payment method settings page with greater accessibility among other accessibility improvements, and the list goes on a little bit like that. So they're very, very minor improvements, but nevertheless, if you're a WooCommerce user, this might be of some significance. The next article is from the ACF, the Advanced Custom Fields website, and they've got ACF 5.0 released. Now, we had Elliot on the podcast a little while ago talking about ACF. I'm always keen to see how this is being updated. Quite a major version. The free version and the premium version don't have the same numbering scheme, but needless to say, this is the new thing for both of them. Exciting new features. They've got a really nice looking different UI where everything's set out slightly differently. Well, I say slightly, quite considerable difference actually in many ways. And it looks fabulous. I really like the new structure. I like the way the images are done and the position of all the new things, and the way it looks is utterly fabulous. Apparently it's going to be a whole lot faster, made improvements across the board, and it should behave much more quickly. I have to say I had no complaints about how quickly it behaved before, but there you go. And we've got a whole load of new fields. We've got a link field, a group field, an accordion field, an O-embed field, a date time picker, and a clone field, which is only available in the Pro version. So if you're an ACF user, rejoice. There's lots of nice new things for you to go and play with. Okay, next up is Yoast SEO, obviously a very, very popular plugin for optimization of your SEO credentials on your site. We are now at version 8.2. It was released last week, and it's designed specifically for Gutenberg. It's got new sections so that you can add sort of schema markup. And it gives you helping hands for what you ought to be putting in where so that you can structure your content. There's no way in a tiny little news article like this that I can really get into the nuts and the bolts of what all this means. But essentially, there's now a load of ways to structure your data schema.org styly. So go and have a look at that, and hopefully it'll help you on your way to understanding SEO a little bit better. This next one, quite frankly, goes over my head a little bit. It's on the WP Tavern website. It's entitled New Common WP Plugin Enables WordPress Sites to Use the Free JS Deliver CDN. Now, we all know what CDNs do, but they can be quite expensive and difficult to configure. Well, Milan Dinic, a WordPress developer based in Serbia, has come up with this thing called Common WP, and the idea is it's going to use the free public JS Deliver CDN. Now, obviously, a CDN is trying to sort of put different resources in different parts of the globe so that they're a little bit easier to access. And I think the intention here is this free CDN, if enough people start using it, there'll be versions of whatever file you might be using. Hopefully there might be versions of that file spread throughout the internet already, thereby speeding everybody's sites up. It's a laudable aim, but I think really to understand this fully you need to go and read the article itself, because I can't quite adequately explain it. But if that kind of stuff and CDNs and hosting environments and all of that are your thing, go check it out. Okay, the next one is the Guten Stats blog is live. We know that Gutenberg is coming. We also know that really it needs to be widely adopted in order for it to be successful. And apparently it was only in June that the roadmap for Gutenberg was released into the public, and we knew that the intention from Matt Mullenweg was that he proposed that 100,000 sites would be using it and 250,000 posts would have to be written before anybody could really say this thing has been adequately tested. Well, apparently now we have 420,000 active installs, which is a lot more than he was requiring, and we have something like 213,000 posts written, which is very, very close to the 250,000 he wanted. So you should go and check it out if you're interested in this data. It kind of confirms that it is being used, it is being tested, and maybe it's getting ready to be pushed live. Okay, the last WordPressy one this week is from IThemes. If you're a user of IThemes products, perhaps one of them you've used is Backup Buddy. I know that I have used Backup Buddy in the past. Well, they've got a new little section nowadays. They'll be able to show you edits since the last WordPress backup. Previously, it's not been as fully featured, but now on the little widget in the dashboard, there's a button entitled Edits Since Last Backup, and you can go in and see how much has changed. Now, this, if you do manual backups, which I confess I don't really do, I schedule all of mine, so it's done anyway. But if you are the kind to go in and just manually back things up, and if your site's not changed for 2 months, why bother backing it up over and over again? This will show you what's been changed. So it will show you how many posts have been written, how many plugins have been updated, any settings that might have been modified, and so on. So I think this is quite a nice addition, and if you use Backup Buddy, something to look at. Okay, not WordPress stuff now. 2 items this week. The Search Engine Journal website is telling us that, now I've got to think this through before I say it, mobile shopping now accounts for over 50% of online transactions. What that means is essentially more than 50% of stuff bought on the internet is now done via a mobile device. So long gone are the days where the website, being a desktop website, was crucial. Now it would appear to be more important to have it mobile optimized and to try as hard as you possibly can to make it work on mobile. Another interesting thing is that people are very, very much more likely to buy, apparently, if you have a sort of mobile app. There, people install an app, they've obviously got loyalty to that, and so a lot of transactions are taking place through that. So if you're using WooCommerce and things, these are nice little statistics that you can trot out when you're meeting clients, to encourage them to think correctly. And the last one, nothing to do with WordPress whatsoever, this is the Hayabusa 2. The Japanese have landed a robotic explorer on the surface of an asteroid, making history. It says, we don't have confirmation yet. We are very, very hopeful, project manager such and I can't read that name, Yuichi Tsuda, said. This happened just a couple of days ago and tremendously exciting. Apparently it's going to set off some explosive charge, launching like a bullet type thing at 4,000 kilometers an hour into the surface, and they're going to capture some of the stuff that's blown back. Absolutely fascinating. Aren't we an incredible species? Right, that's it. Thank you for listening to the news once again. I hope that you have a really very nice week, and hopefully we'll see you on some of the webinars this week or at the podcast on Thursday. Bye-bye for now.